I have 10 minutes to put together nearly 40 years of my life. I am older. I was born as a privileged child because I was the first child and first grandchild. أكبر idea. I got most of the money till recently. Then they got bored of me because I have some nieces here setting the proof that they're better than me. Anyway, so basically, I had the privilege to go to the New English School of Kuwait, which was at that time probably the best private school, if not one of the best. I had a very lonely childhood because I was the first child. So my best friend was the book. The Encyclopedia Britannica was my favorite. My naughty thing was the Archie magazine. And I don't know if you remember Archie and Mad. By the way, they closed down Mad. I don't know why they did that. Remember the fold up at the back? Anybody born in the 70s? Okay, I'm giving it away. Anyway, so in school, I just developed this curiosity. I just wanted to ask questions about everything and anything because I was so alone at home. It wasn't because my parents didn't want to be with me. It was just that I was born the first child. So I read everything. And then I developed a love for reading biographies, leaders, people that made it in the world. I just loved it. Then I joined the debating society at the age of 7. I was 7 and going to debating society. And you're asking me if I want to run one day? So I go to the debating society, and then I ended up becoming the head of the debating society. And then working in Girl Scouts, so I was doing a bit of, giving back, a bit of, learning leadership. And then I graduate, and I'm like accepted MIT, Stanford, and my mom's like, "La, Jamiat al-Kuwait." I'm like, I got a perfect SAT score, perfect. Then I went to Jamiat al-Kuwait, Kuwait University. I have no regrets, actually. I think it's the best decision I did in my life. And suddenly, my country went. The invasion happened. I was in Europe and I was in London, and we woke up, we didn't have a country. Kuwait was gone. It was shattering because when you don't have land, you don't have a country, you're worth nothing to anybody else. And I was like, what am I going to do? I just finished 1 year of engineering. So what does Ashwaq do? She goes and joins another university in London. And then I said, okay, well, I'm doing this for my country. What else can I do to give back? I love serving. That's where I find myself. Because I believe when you serve, you can make miracles. Whether it's in health, in money, in advocacy, I believe it works. So I looked it up. I said, okay, where can I help? I can't go to the embassy. I'm too young. So I went to the Kuwait, the National Union for Kuwaiti Students, NUCS, UK. And I started writing the speeches for the protests in London. I don't know if people here were with me in London. Everybody used to hear me screaming. They used to give me lozenges. I used to speak in Speaker's Corner. Okay. I worked on the design of Free Kuwait, the one in London. So I was busy studying and working with NUCS. Then we were blessed that Kuwait was liberated. Came back to Kuwait University. Oh God, this is boring. What do you want to do? Oh, work with the student union. Nizli intikhabat. Come on, you can run for elections. So I joined, and funny enough, strange enough, Anwar Ibrahim was with me in that group. She is younger, but she was with me. Haked alayha. So anyway, I ended up becoming the first woman to be vice chairman of a student group. Anwar remembers that. And the year I left Kuwait University was the year we actually ousted the group that used to control it for 12 years. I'm just trying to tickle some minds here. But anyway, so going back, that was after the invasion, 91. Then things got ugly in 93. I was engaged to a lovely man, and he died in a car accident. He died actually in my car 2 weeks before my wedding. And I was like, what am I going to do? This is, I'm so young, and I don't know how to, I don't know how to deal with death. I was that young. So I opened my first business. I became an entrepreneur because he used to always say, you're going to be an amazing engineer one day and an amazing businesswoman. So I did it. So I dug myself into business and into the student elections. I graduated, went into business, became a successful entrepreneur. Till then, in 2000, when my father passed away, I had to be the man of the house because my brother was studying abroad and so was my sister. And that was difficult to deal with because I had my business and I was doing myself. I was becoming a successful entrepreneur. But there was something missing. Okay, there was something missing. And I noticed that I missed being in the Girl Scouts. I missed advocacy work. So what did I do? I went and joined Kuwait Society of Engineers, KSE, Jamaat al-Muhandisin. And I worked with them for 2 to 3 years. And then I realized that there's no Kuwaiti woman on the board. So I was like, hey guys, you know what? Elections are like in a couple of months. Do you mind if I run with you? Because you always win anyway. And they're like, no. We have to do they call it far'iyya. And I was like, hell no. I'm not going to do that. That's illegal. You know, this is me. So they said, no, you're not going to run. I did. And I freaked them out because of the number I got. They changed the legislation, the laws of KSE. They called for elections literally a year later, and I ran with them. And I became the first Kuwaiti woman to be on the board of the Kuwait Society of Engineers. Okay? So it was for 2 years. So if you notice, I always wait for a challenge to be resilient, and then something comes out. But there's always been something missing, which I'll come to. Then in 2000, so I was there from 2007 to 2009, March. Ended of 2 years ended, and then they said, do you want to run again with us? And I'm like, no, done, been there, done that. Next, you know, serial entrepreneur. No, I just believe that if you can't give more to where you are, move on, let somebody else do maybe a better job. Really, this is something I believe in. So this was in March. Then in June, I got a call from the Council of Ministers that I was chosen by His Highness Sheikh Nasser Mohammed to be one of 3 women to be appointed to the Municipal Council. And I was like, wow, this really works. Is it because I'm always in the media? By the way, this is a trick. When they see you, they realize you exist. So shy women out there, you're wasting your time. Okay? So anyway, so I become a member, and I become a very naughty member. I've gone down in history to be the first appointed member of the municipal council, or even not the parliament, the municipal council, that actually took the government to court. I took 4 ministers to the Attorney General, Naib al-Am, okay? Which means for a few years after I finished my term, they completely hated me, okay? Which was fine with me, because when I finished in 2013, I went back to my businesses and I owned quite a few. I was very busy, but because of conflict of interest, everything crashed. So I was picking up the pieces. And while I was picking up the pieces, I was driving once to Arazi Hospital. I had also, again, the privilege to be the consultant that designed it, the extension, and it is the first project to finish on time in the medical sector at that time. Okay? So I was driving, and then my hand went stiff. And I didn't know what was wrong with my hand. And at that time, I was doing physiotherapy for my knee because, I don't know if you know this, but I'm really into fitness and stuff like that. It gets crazy sometimes. So anyway, I went to hospital and they did some MRIs, and I was diagnosed with MS. So, and I remember when the doctor called me and she said to me, Ashwaq, it is MS, you have MS. And I said to her, are you serious? Me? I eat healthy, I work out. She's like, look at the stress you've had in your life. The 4 years in the council. So basically, my body gave up. Gave up. The depression, the anger, the sadness, my business is down the drain, being still single in a society where they look at you, if you're not married, you should be dead. Look at the housing dilemma we have, for God's sake. So then my journey with myself and purpose started. I discovered that all these years I've been invited to run for parliament. Nizle, yeah, come on, you can do it. You might win. I think the political ecosystem in Kuwait is not healthy for somebody that wants to give to run. You can't do it alone. It's impossible. It's very difficult. Unless you just want to go and scream on your chair, which I don't want to. I want to be there. I want to wear my boots and go there and do the job. So it's been difficult. People asking me, will you run? Will you not run? Maybe one day I will run. And I'm looking for a slide. Hello? Yeah, sorry. Oh, there's a story I forgot to tell you. When I was in London during the war, I was with a committee of women that went to meet the Iron Lady. Yeah. And we talked to her, to get support for the cause. And on our way out, she called me back. She said, young lady, I'd like to talk to you. And you wouldn't believe what she said to me. And I will never forget this for the rest of my life. She said to me, keep on going, because you're going places. Okay, so I'd like to end this now. When you talk about, because I'm ending the talk now, about the political system. We don't have political parties. We do have them, but they're underground. There's nobody's monitoring them, nobody's regulating them. We don't know where the money's coming from. I believe that the natural progression of politics in Kuwait is having political parties, okay? Because you can't do it alone. I don't know if you know this woman. I mean, obviously I didn't, but she's one of the women I read about. Her name is Barbara Jordan. She was the first African-American to be on the Senate in Texas in the 60s. She was a civil rights leader. And then she went on to be the first African-American, not female, African-American full stop in the Congress. And when she ran against, again, an African-American runner, and he was so ugly with her, although he was from the same race, because she was a woman. So anyway, when she won in Congress, they said to her, you're 435 members. What are you going to do alone? She's like, I'm going to make sure that the other 434 know that I'm there. So basically, that's what I'm going to do if I ever do run. And this is what I did 2 weeks ago. Thank you.